time is estimated to be a good 40 to 45 minutes, leaving about 15 to 20 minutes for a Q&A at the end of the session. And again, a few housekeeping notes to go over before the presentation begins. You'll notice in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a red arrow. If you click on that arrow, you'll get the menu bar. Here you're able to control the screen size and ask questions. All people except for the presenter will be muted to reduce background noise, and therefore we ask for, if you do have a question, just make sure you write it directly into the question box and we'll follow up with you through that. Any technical questions will be answered directly through the question box to you, and any general questions will be shared vocally for all attendees to benefit. We're going to give it another minute or so for a few more people to join in, and then we will kick it off. All right, it looks like everyone's on, so I'm going to now hand the reins over to Jacek from Blue Rank to kick off the webinar. Go ahead, Jacek.
Okay, thanks very much. Hello everyone. I would like to welcome you all to this webinar about Google Analytics and SEO. I hope that you can hear me well. Of course, please use the question box if you have any technical issues or questions. It's very strange talking to a computer and not seeing anyone, so that's why we've prepared a couple of surveys, polls that will be conducted during the webinar to get your feedback and attention as well. The webinar will take about 40 to 50 minutes. We'll have some time for discussion and questions afterwards. But of course, you're welcome to ask any question during the webinar. I'll try to answer it as we're talking. Before we start, a short introduction about myself. Again, my name is Jacek Tkachuk. I am responsible for the SEO department in Blue Rank. Blue Rank is a search engine marketing agency specializing in classified websites. The majority of portals that we work for are really large, with many topics, large traffic, and thousands of key phrases. I know that the majority of you work in a very similar environment, and I think that you will agree with me that with such large amounts of traffic, it's sometimes difficult to evaluate the real SEO performance. Especially when something is not going as we planned it. For example, if the traffic is decreasing instead of incrementing. In this presentation, I will show you some indicators based on the data from Google Analytics that can be used for monitoring the SEO performance of large websites and even research for potential website problems and reasons for traffic decrease. Okay, starting from the beginning, when we wish to analyze the SEO performance of any website, we usually analyze the following two factors at the very beginning. The first is the rankings of the website. We're simply checking what's the position in Google for selected phrases. The second indicator is the organic traffic value. So how many users come from search engines from non-paid search results. Those two are the basic factors, and if we have a simple website, they may be sufficient for analyzing the performance and trends of the search engine optimization of the website. However, if we've got a website with 1 million ads, for example, the actual number of key phrases grows to a number that cannot be analyzed by any means. Also, similar with the traffic. One figure of the organic traffic may not be efficient for analyzing what's the real performance of the SEO and of the website. Just to warm up, there I've got the first question to you. Please use the poll that will be opened in a minute. Can you please select whether you already use the SEO KPIs that are different from those two that I already mentioned? We'll give you a few seconds for the answers. In the meantime, I will go on with the presentation. I will go back to the poll afterwards. Okay, I have divided the KPIs for SEO performance monitoring to two sets. What you now see is the basic set. Yeah, you can see it now. Okay, sorry. What you now see is the basic set. We'll talk about more advanced factors in a couple of minutes. I have chosen three basic indicators for this set. The first is the distinction between branded and non-branded organic traffic. The second are the number of unique phrases and unique landing pages for organic search traffic. After those 3 points, I will go to the more advanced traffic analysis. I will take a look into the polls. Okay, it seems that half of you already track some more advanced KPIs, half of you not, so I think that the presentation may be inspiring for you to look into the traffic of your website and to analyze the real performance of the website. Okay, we're starting with the basic factors with the first one, which is the distinction between the branded and non-branded organic traffic. First of all, what is the branded traffic? It is the number of visits that are generated through organic keywords that are or contain the brand name or its misspellings. Why is it important to distinguish this type of traffic? Well, because the branded organic traffic usually does not indicate the SEO performance. Your website will always be first for your company name, so the number of visits indicates only trend and brand recognition, not the general performance within the search engines. You can see the branded traffic once you go to the analytics. When you see the phrases report, the keywords report. Here's the example. This is a Polish classified website. Its name is Marusek. This is a Polish name, of course. You can see the first two phrases are the branded, yeah, the company name and the website name with the domain ending. In order to see only the branded traffic, you simply filter the phrases. You can see the filter just below the list of phrases within the analytics report. One more thing, in this presentation I will show you slides from the standard, the old analytics tool. I will not base my presentation on the new analytics software because I think it's not very usable. I think it has lots of bugs. So I will talk about the old one. I will show screens from the old analytics tool. Here you've got a screen showing the traffic only for the branded phrases. You can see that you have a filter of containing and there is a branded name. And on the opposite, if we want to exclude the branded traffic, we simply select excluding and enter the brand name. As simple as that. Yeah, so to sum up, for analyzing the actual SEO performance, we usually always report only non-branded traffic values, and the branded traffic may be used for analyzing the brand strength and recognition or to evaluate the performance of some offline advertising campaigns aimed at image building. In the following parts of the webinar, I will talk more about the filtering options and keywords, but now let's finish with the basic stuff. The second SEO performance indicator may be both, in fact, the number of key phrases driving the traffic and the number of landing pages for organic search. Why those two criteria are so important? Well, because they tell us what is the performance of the long tail phrases. If we see the increase in the number of key phrases, this is a good indicator that our long-tail performance is improving. This may especially be interesting if we evaluate the SEO traffic after some changes that we made to all the templates at once. The number of key phrases that drive traffic to the website is visible within the keywords report in analytics. Here on this screen we can see the example that there are more than 100,000 different key phrases driving the traffic to the website. And similarly, the number of landing pages is visible once you go to the landing pages report, which is available within the content section of analytics. What's more, I would suggest to select a segment of organic traffic only, denoted here as non-paid search traffic, to see the actual SEO performance, not the performance of all the traffic sources. Those two numbers, so is the number of key phrases and number of landing pages, are especially useful when we analyze the trends, so how the numbers, the traffic changes in time. In order to see the trends, you need to use a spreadsheet to export the data. It's not possible to see the number of landing pages on one screen within the analytics software. You can see the example. This is the graph from the Excel spreadsheet. Here we can see quite a significant increase in both the number of landing pages and key phrases, which happened as a result of immediate increase of the number of ads. Yeah? We'll come back again to landing pages in the following parts of the webinar. We'll then talk about analyzing the number of landing pages with respect to their templates and categories. We'll also use some advanced filters. But that's the end of the warm-up, in fact. I think that this was quite necessary for the following parts of the presentation. It was like an introduction. Before we continue with more advanced analysis, again, a question for you. Have you already used these three indicators for analyzing the SEO performance? Please use the poll again to answer the question. Again, I will give you some seconds for the answers. In the meantime, I will continue with the presentation. Now we're starting with more advanced SEO traffic analysis. So, in fact, we're starting with the actual part of the webinar. We'll here talk about the advanced key phrases analysis and regular expressions. Then I will show you how to filter search engine traffic by landing page templates and topics. We'll use advanced segments for landing page types. I will also talk a little bit about advert age and analyzing the traffic with respect to it. And finally, I will present you the checklist for SEO traffic decrease analysis, which I think might be quite useful and will be a good way of concluding the whole presentation. Okay, I can see the results of the poll. It seems that 2/3 of you have in fact already used the distinction between branded and non-branded traffic, and the similar number have used the number of key phrases. However, what's good for me, in fact, is that you're not using the landing pages report. I think this is very useful for analyzing the SEO performance. So I think it's good that you can participate in the webinar and see what you can get out of the landing pages report. Okay, so we're starting with the key phrase analysis. I have already shown to you how to filter the phrases with simple keywords like the brand name. Now we'll talk about using regular expressions for advanced filtering options. Regular expressions are special. Regular expressions are useful if you wish to analyze the entry phrases with respect to templates and types. I will show you some example. First of all, what are the regular expressions? Those are special characters used within Google Analytics for filtering key phrases and landing pages that can enable more advanced filtering options. The full list of expressions is available within the Google Analytics Help Center. I will now show you some examples. First of all, you use the regular expressions within the filter box of either key phrases, landing pages, or anywhere else where Google Analytics enables you to do it. Here is the example of the basic regular expression sign. This is the vertical line and means OR. So if you enter black, line white, this means that you filter the phrases for the ones containing either black or white. You can use this kind of analysis for filtering more than one keyword. There are some examples. Like the first is the filtering out all the brand names and all its misspellings. Or you can use it for filtering known phrases like the regions or colors, sizes, models, and so on and so forth. It's quite useful. The next quite important sign is the square brackets. It's used for denoting character within range. You can see the example. There is a square bracket. There is 0 to 9 within the square brackets, which means any digit, in fact, any digit from 0 to 9. You can use these kind of regular expressions for filtering the numbers. For example, you can see the range of years within phrases that bring traffic to your website. Next quite also important character is the curved bracket sign. The number within means the number of occurrences of the previous character. You can see the example here. There is 0 to 9 within the square brackets, so any digit, and there is 9 within the curved brackets, which means that the filter, that the phrase should contain 9 digits of 0 to 9, so simple number containing of 9 digits. Okay, those are just few examples of regular expressions. In fact, there are many more rules that can be used. I will not talk about all of them. You can find them all within the Analytics Help Center. Instead, I will show you some examples of how this kind of analysis can be used and what data can be obtained. The first idea is to learn how many visits are generated through phrases that are in fact telephone numbers. Here's the example of filtering for 9-digit number. Here you can see 0 to 9 and 9 times of the number before. Next example is again telephone number, but with dashes within. So there are digits. There are 3 sets of digits with 3 numbers each. The next example is the filter for the year number. Here you can see within the filtering field, you can see in fact 2 numbers divided by the orange sign, by the vertical line. The first one means from 2000 to 2019, the second from 1970 to 1999. So in fact all the years, the production years of, for example, vehicles, cars, and so on. And finally, final example, the one that I've mentioned before. This is the example of filtering for colors. Here you can see black, line blue, line green, line red, and so on and so forth. Any colors that you think about, you can put them here and see what's the traffic generated by phrases containing the color. Okay, now you may ask me what do we need such data for? Well, thanks to advanced phrase filtering, you can evaluate the levels of traffic driven through selected sets of phrases. For example, if you have a classified website with cars for sale, you can see whether car colors bring any traffic. Or even better, you can analyze the paid traffic and see whether phrases containing colors are popular. And if they are, you can apply changes to your website so that the color names are more visible within the website, and you may get more organic traffic from phrases containing colors. Another example, assume that you have a classified website where ad details pages are optimized for career, make, model, and city. By advanced filters, you can figure out how many visits come from phrases containing the production year, how many from car, make, or the phrase for sale. Yeah? Moreover, you can use this data for making tests. For example, you can try adding the word used to the title and see whether the number of phrases containing used really increased. Or you may add a car color or a simple color to the title and see again whether the number of organic traffic, whether the amounts of organic traffic increased on your website. So there is plenty of possibilities of using regular expressions here for filtering phrases. Yeah, the regular expressions are interesting for analyzing phrases that drive traffic to your website. But that's true that you need to have very structured data on your website. For example, you have to have production years of products, or colors, or sizes, or things that you can simply identify. Now, the landing pages analysis is even much more interesting and much more usable. If you have a clear structure of URLs, which usually is the case, you can analyze the organic traffic with respect to landing page templates, categories, regions, or even advertisement IDs, anything that you can think about. How it's done? I will show you an example right now. Assume that you have a classified website where there are 4 templates of pages. There is the homepage, which is denoted as a slash sign within Google Analytics. There are the categories that start with, for example, ads dash list. There are search pages like tags that start with ads search, and there are the ad details pages that start with ad. Then there is some ID and the phrase that is in fact the title of an advertisement. If you know what are the phrases used within the categories and templates, you can easily construct regular expressions that will filter those kinds of pages. Yeah, for example, you can see the regular expressions for the home page, which is the anchor dash dollar. Anchor means the beginning of the string, dollar means the ending of the string. You can see the regular expressions for category, search, ad details. Those are quite simple. Now you can use these expressions for analyzing the traffic that lands distinctively on those kinds of templates. You can see the example of the traffic that lands on the home page. You can see the filter, which is containing, again, anchor slash dollar, which means the home page. You can see the traffic landed on the home page. Again, please remember to select the non-paid search traffic segment, which is on the top, within the top right corner of the screen. You can use the similar filtering for all the other types of templates on your website, like the ones that I presented before. Of course, you need to export the data to see, to analyze it in a good use. Here is the example. The first information that you can get from this kind of report is what is the share of traffic, or organic traffic, that lands on your website. Like in this example, we can see that the category pages bring almost 3/4 of the traffic. We've got searches with 14% of the traffic, ad details pages with 7%, and the traffic on the homepage is about 6%. Yeah, so you can see the share of the traffic, the share of landing pages for the organic traffic. You can use this kind of data for example, evaluating the priorities for SEO actions, for template optimization and so on. Or even more interesting, data can be gathered by analyzing the trends of how the traffic through different types of landing pages changes through time. For example, here we can see the traffic share for ad details pages, that the traffic simply decreased somewhere between the third and the fourth month. Once you know that there was a traffic drop, you can analyze it further on. Maybe there was some decrease in the number of ads, or you've done something to the template that simply decreased the traffic, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So by analyzing the traffic by the template, you can get lots of data for analyzing the reasons of drop, or simply for analyzing how the traffic increases through time. Similar analysis of landing pages can be done with respect to categories and topics. If we have a clearly defined URL structure, we can use the regular expressions for filtering traffic through selected categories. Like on the screen, we filtered the traffic by 4 different regular expressions containing the category names. Yeah, you can see that there are 4 types of categories here. And we know what are the URLs of the categories, so we can construct the filters or regular expressions that can be used within the landing page's report. And here the example of results. We can see that in this case the majority of traffic is driven through dogs categories, and then we have cats, horses, birds, and other topics. Again, this type of data can be used for prioritizing the optimization, for copywriting, or deciding which categories should be linked more effectively. For example, let's assume that we have a pets classifieds website with the majority of ads within cats categories. If we see that the cats categories bring only 17% of the traffic, this means that there is something wrong. Consider the number of ads. Maybe we should focus on our link building efforts on this category, or we should change the naming, optimize the pages, and so on. Yeah, if the number of ads is much bigger than the share, then there is much that can be done within this type of optimization. And of course, it's also great to see the trends, to analyze how the traffic for selected categories changes through time. We can find out drops in traffic, or we may use the data to evaluate extensive help that is needed for one of the categories. Yeah, for example, here we can see that the traffic on dogs categories increased between the 3rd and the 4th month. And it may be, for example, as a result of more focused link building that was done on dogs categories only. We can see I can use the landing pages report for filters for many different types of data analysis. Here are some examples. I have already mentioned templates and categories, but we can use the same kind of analysis for the regions. Yeah, we can filter out the traffic landed on different regions. We can use even different filters, for example, the colors, the sizes, the makes, models, and so on. Anything that you're using on your website. And finally, we can use the same for analyzing the ad IDs. For example, if we know what are the ranges of IDs with respect to data, with respect to dates, we can use this kind of data to analyze the traffic through different ads, through different ads created within the selected data ranges. I will talk more about this later on. Yeah, so the next thing that is also connected with landing pages are the advanced segments. The advanced segments can be used for, well, first of all, for splitting the reports, but they can also be used for cross-segment analysis. For example, when you figure out that there was a significant change in SEO traffic for a single type of pages, you can further analyze the data by segmenting the traffic only to this selected type of landing pages. In order to create an advanced segment, you use the segment menu available at the top right corner of the analytics screen. For example, let's assume that we have encountered a significant decrease of traffic through ad details pages. In order to analyze the keywords that drove the traffic, we should first set up a segment that will include only traffic landed on ads. So we click on the Create an Advanced Segment link within the analytics report, and we filter out the data. We know that we want to have the traffic that is landing on Add Details pages, so we add the landing page from the left menu. We select the match regular expression, and we put in the beginning of the string at the beginning of the URLs that denotes the Add Details pages. Moreover, it's good to select also the organic medium to have only the traffic that is generated through the search engines, and it's not paid. Now, when we put in the variables, we save the report, we save the segment. We'll apply it to all the reports that are available within the analytics. Apart from what I'm going to show in a minute, you can use the advanced segments to see, for example, the map overlay, the traffic for the selected phrases, for the selected landing pages, with respect to countries, regions, cities, and so on. You can find out what's the visitor loyalty of the selected categories and how many goals were completed by users that entered pages that we selected, and so on and so forth. Now, again, we wish to analyze the traffic decrease that happened on Add Details pages. We can see a large decrease of traffic somewhere in March. I can see that the traffic dropped. And we want to analyze what's the problem. Once we selected the advanced segment, we may go, for example, to the phrases report. When you go to the keywords report, you can easily compare the phrases that drove the traffic before the decrease with the ones that generated the traffic after the decrease. By simple comparison, by exporting, for example, 100 different phrases, you can see which phrases, in fact, stopped driving the traffic. And knowing that, you can analyze it further on. For example, you can check the rankings. You can see what happened with the landing pages. Maybe they simply stopped existing. Maybe there was something changed within those types of pages. In this example, again, this concerns the Add Details pages. Probably those pages that once generated traffic were not longer available. Yeah, simply those ads ceased existing. Apart from SEO, you can also use the landing pages report for analyzing the traffic quality. For example, you can analyze the bounce rate for different kinds of templates. Here you can see the example. The first is the traffic that lands on the home page. The second is the traffic that lands on the category pages. You can see that the bounce rate for the home page is much lower than the categories. Here you can use this type of data for optimizing the pages, for making the bounce rate smaller. And again, you can use this not only for templates. You can use this also for categories. Yeah, you can see that the dogs and cats categories have a smaller bounce rate when compared with other pages. Yeah, so you can also compare this type of data with the number of ads that is available within selected categories, and see whether the ads that exist are really relevant, and so on. Yeah, any change, any difference between the bounce rate may indicate that the page, the type of pages is worse or better than the average. The landing pages, well, there are many possibilities to play with landing pages. The only boundary is your idea on how the data can be used. Of course, the prerequisite to analyze the data is having a clear structure of URLs. I find the next usage of landing pages report especially interesting. Now I will show you how you can analyze the traffic, how you can analyze the number of organic visits with respect to Add Details page H. First of all, assume that you have a classified website where Add Details pages looks as follows. First, there is a slash add ID, and there is the couple of keywords that are in fact the title of an advert. Once you know that certain IDs in fact mean certain data ranges. For example, the ads created in February had the IDs around 350,000, or ads created in January had IDs of about 300,000, and so on. If you know that, and if the IDs are sorted in the correct way, then you can use the regular expression to create a filter that will, in fact, that can be used for filtering ads with respect to data ranges. Here you can see a regular expression that can be used for filtering IDs from 300,000 to 999 numbers, and so on and so forth. Here on the next slide you can see two examples of how this data can be used. The first screen shows the traffic through ads created around the 15th of June. The second shows the traffic for ads created around the middle of May. What's worth mentioning is that this website, this is the real life example, this website uses ads that are not deleted after their expiration. What you can notice at the first sight is that the traffic first increases to reach its maximum after several days, but afterwards it gradually decreases to about 10 to 15% of its original value. I think this may be quite common for any type of website, and this phenomenon is quite interesting because of three reasons. The first is that fresh ads gets most of the organic search engine traffic. So in other words, their rankings within search engines are boosted just at the beginning. The second finding is that eventually ads are dropped out of top results within search engines, and the traffic they once generated is lost. And the final thing is that the most important, in fact, some ads in fact survive this behavior and continue to bring search engine traffic even after several weeks or months. On the next screen you can see the analysis of the percentage of ads bringing any organic traffic on the previously mentioned website with regards to ads age. Out of the most recent ads, around 50% serve as landing pages. Yeah, so 50%, half of the ads that were created few weeks, few days before bring any organic traffic. But on the other hand, out of ads that were created even a year before, you can see it on the top bottom right corner. Even out of those ads, 10 to 20% still continue to bring some traffic. Yes, so it's quite interesting that even ads that have expired a long time ago may still bring organic traffic. And yeah, it's clear that it's simply good to continue displaying those ads and continue gaining traffic again. You can check the behavior of this within your analytics. I'm pretty sure that it's the same. Again, you can do it by advanced filtering, by analyzing the landing pages using regular expressions, and so on. And we are reaching the final part of the presentation. In fact, you might treat it as a summary to what I've presented till now. The factors and KPIs that I have described can be used not only for monitoring the SEO performance and seeing the traffic growth. We might also use them to analyze the potential reasons for a sudden decrease of the number of visits from search engines. This is especially important in case of large websites where we cannot easily define what are the causes of SEO traffic decrease. Especially that usually the decrease of SEO traffic is not so easy to justify. Yeah, a short question to you. Have you already encountered such a decrease in traffic that you cannot justify that you cannot simply for which you cannot find the straightforward reasons. Yeah, we can see the example. We can see the answers. In fact, it appears that the majority of you have already encountered such a decrease in traffic. You can see the results. Almost for three-quarters of the attendees have saw that the traffic on their website has decreased with no potential reasons. Now I will show you. You can treat it as a checklist. What should be analyzed once you see that the traffic decreases and once you see that there is something wrong with the SEO traffic. You can also treat it as a summary to this presentation. I will talk about things that were already discussed. Now I will cover those 6 items one by one. The first thing that should be analyzed when you see the traffic decrease is the comparison of branded with non-branded traffic. This analysis is important because in some industries there are parts of the year when the organic traffic decreases as a result of trends. It may also be common that there is less traffic when the weather is good and people tend to spend their time outdoors and so on. Analyzing branded traffic will tell you whether the trends really appeared. The best way to do this is to compare the percentage of decrease of non-branded traffic with the branded one. If the decrease is similar, then we may assume that the decrease was caused by the trends.
Hey, Jacek.
Yep.
We have a question that came in through the chat.
Okay.
Let me read it here. It says, what is the best SEO strategy for expired ads? How should these be kept on the site without jeopardizing usability?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think this is quite a common question. I've noticed this a few times before. In general, it's the best way to work it out with the best influence on SEO is to simply use it in a way that will be usable. Yeah. You can, for example, you can archive the ads. You can see, you can show the ads that are expired with less data. You can, for example, cover the contact data. You can simply say that this ad is expired, and, for example, put more stress on the current ads. Yeah, you can shift the position of the description, the details of an advert, and, for example, stress the importance of new ads, show the list of ads that are active from the similar category or topic. Yeah, well, I think that the best idea to show you how to do it would be an example. I'm not sure whether it's good time to do it now. I think that you can contact me directly. I can show you how it's done on other websites. In general, it's best to first simply blank some data and stress out the importance of active ads by simply showing the list in some visible place on the page.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I can continue, right?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, so coming back. Yeah. Okay. Coming back to the presentation. Yeah, we're talking about the traffic decrease analysis. I've already mentioned the branded versus non-branded traffic analysis. Now is the second point, which is the landing page number. Yeah, when we happen to see the decrease in SEO traffic, which is which cannot be easily justified, we should compare the number of landing pages for the organic search for before and after the decrease of traffic. Of course, remember to select the same data ranges. If you find out that the number of landing pages decreases by a similar percentage to the organic traffic, this means that the decrease affected the long tail. If the decrease of the landing pages number is small when compared to the total decrease of the traffic, then you might compare the individual landing pages and search for the ones that lost their rankings. If you see that the total number of landing pages decreased much and there are no individual pages that lost the traffic, you should analyze the traffic with respect to landing page template or topic. You can use the regular expressions like I shown to you before for filtering the traffic with respect to categories or templates and compare the traffic for before and after the decrease. I would suggest to search for templates or categories that have the organic traffic loss higher than the general decrease. What you might find out? Well, it might be that there were some changes applied to one template of the pages that caused a decrease of SEO traffic, or if the traffic on one category decreased much, maybe there is some new competitor on the topic, or you should spend more resources on the link building for this one selected category that had the biggest decrease of the traffic. Moreover, when you identify one category or one template of landing pages that had the biggest loss of the traffic, you may analyze it further by using the advanced segments. Like I mentioned before, you set up the advanced segment using the segment menu available on the top right side of the analytics window. You define the traffic medium as organic and landing pages based on the template that you want to analyze, of course. Then you go to keywords report and look for strange patterns. A good idea is to download the list of top 100 or top 500 phrases from before the decrease and after the decrease to analyze what phrases encountered the biggest drop. This way you might find out individual pages or topics for which you lost most of the traffic. You can find out pages that lost the rankings, and basing on these pages, on these phrases, you can decide on what should be done to improve the situation. And the last, of course but not least, is the usage of Google Master Tools. I would say that there are two reports that should be checked immediately after you see the SEO traffic decrease. The first is the number of 404 errors. It might appear that because of some change that you made to the website, a certain page template stopped working and there are thousands of new 404 errors pages reported. When you click on the not found link, you will see the examples of pages that stopped working. The second is the HTML suggestion report. Again, an increase in the number of duplicate meta descriptions or titles might suggest that there is something wrong with the website, with the technical side of the website, or that you made some change to the website that had a nil effect for the SEO. Again, when you click on the report, you will see examples of duplicates. And the analysis of those 6 factors, that's again the comparison of branded and non-branded traffic. The second is the change of the number of landing pages. The third is the analysis of landing pages by a topic or template. Fourth is the comparing of key phrases and landing pages again. The fifth is comparing the landing pages, and the final is the Google Master Tools. The analysis of those 6 factors is usually sufficient for finding out reasons for the traffic decrease. So if you feel that there is something wrong with the SEO on your website, go to Google Analytics and get the data to simply think about potential reasons and think about solutions, how the traffic can be restored. Okay, and finally, we have reached the end of the webinar. Now we'll have some time for questions. However, before we start, I will have one last question to you. We're planning to run a second webinar of this kind on this topic somewhere in December. It would be good if you could suggest topics for this presentation. Can you please use the poll again and select which topics would be most desired by them? In other words, what would you like me to describe in more detail as far as Google Analytics is concerned? Okay, I'll give you some time for answers. In the meantime, you can think about the questions. Okay, I think that, yeah, you can see the results. Yeah, there are two topics that are the most interesting for you. The first is Google Master Tools, the second is tracking events. So in fact, things that I have not described within this webinar. Yes, I will think about the topics and we'll prepare a second webinar on those two topics in more detail. Yeah, somewhere in December you will be notified. Yeah, and the last thing from my side is that I would like to mention that we will be in Dublin during the ICMA meeting. If you're interested in learning more about analytics, if you have more questions about the traffic jobs or SEO traffic analysis, you can meet us in Dublin. We'll be available on Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. Also, you can find us next to our stand. And the final thing is that if you have more targeted questions, you can also contact me directly. I can help you with analyzing the SEO traffic profile and the quiz analysis. Yeah, now there is some time for your questions, and you can use the question box for asking those.
And yeah, Jack, we have one question that came over the question box. It's from Simonas, and I'm actually going to unmute him so he can ask you himself. Great. Simonas, you should now be able to ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm facing one let's say situation. How to deal with the multi-language sites. The thing is that some pages are partly translated into foreign language and partly in native. For example, like an ad page, which has embedded fields like, imagine this is the car ad, that fields like engine or gearbox, whatever, it is translated, but the description, which is free text, is in the native language. So how to deal with these pages? I mean, on the technical side, not in the code, let's say.
Okay, I think that the best idea to do is to simply think about it from the user perspective. I think that everything that is good for user is also good for the SEO for Google. If you feel that the ads that are in the native language will be usable for users speaking other languages, then I think that no canonical is necessary here. Those pages can simply exist without excluding them from the index. But yeah, that's the question to you. Do you think that in fact the advert in different language will be good for other users? If not, then maybe it's really needed to apply the canonical tag. Yeah, if you wish to exclude the advert from the index, then from the technical point of view, the canonical tag will be the best idea.
Actually, I don't want to exclude, because I see the visitors, for example, from Russia, are visiting my site in Russian language. And I would like to make more pages indexed in Russian language in Google or in Yandex, whatever. And how to make this technically? Because, for example, what I'm considering to do, to put canonical in Russian language, put the rel canonical www, which means native site, and put alternate tag, which defines that this page is in Russian language.
I don't think that this, personally, I don't think that this kind of technical things are necessary here. If the pages in the other language are okay for the users, then I think that there is no need of putting canonicals and alternatives here on those pages. Yeah, if you remember, if you put in the canonical tag, you'll probably have those kinds of pages excluded from at least Google index. Yeah. So if those pages are okay for the people speaking other languages, then I think that no canonicals and no alternates are necessary here.
Yeah, but the thing is that these pages are partly duplicate. I mean, I want to avoid duplicate content, let's say.
I think that in the classifieds business, it's impossible to avoid the duplication of content. So I would simply not worry about duplication of parts of the content. Yeah, what you can translate simply and make it good for the users. And what you can't simply will not be translated, and I think that there will be no problem of this for Google, personally.
So you would suggest simply just allow Google to index those pages and nothing more?
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, precisely.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
If you wish to be well, strictly good with Google, you can also mention a link to the original ad somewhere within the page and say that here is the ad, the original ad, in the original language, and that's all. Yeah, I will not use any canonicals. I would not use any other technical stuff here.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Simonas, for your question. We have about another minute left. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, in the meantime, I'd like to give a big thank you to Jacek for putting the webinar presentation together and for all of you for joining us today. We hope that you were able to gain some more knowledge on Google and SEO to help better your business. As Jacek mentioned, for those of you that are not familiar with ICMA, we invite you to join us this November in Dublin for the ICMA Classifieds Opportunities and Threats Conference, and that's taking place the 2nd through 5th of November. Registrations are still being accepted, and you can check out more information on our website, which is icmaonline.org. We do have a special offer for non-members in light of our 25th anniversary, so if you would like more information on that, feel free to contact Heather or myself. And any more questions come in the meantime?
We have none, but we can take one last one if anybody has anything they'd like Jacek to answer.
All right, and again, Jacek will be in Dublin with us at the ICMA conference, so you can also contact him there. As he said, the exhibitor time Friday from 5 to 6. And I think that wraps it up. So thank you once again for joining us for the webinar today. We'd appreciate if you could take a minute to fill out the survey that you're going to receive upon logging out of the webinar. Thanks, and have a great Wednesday. Until the next webinar. Take care.